The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Brought to you this week by Fortune Transportation of Windham. Fortune Transportation would like to congratulate John Irwin on being this week's Athlete of the Week. Fortune Transportation strives for excellence, and John's work ethic and his willingness to do what it takes to get the job done mirrors his dedication on the field. We are happy to have him as one of our employees and want to recognize his athletic success. I'm joined right now by Windham Senior John Irwin, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, John.
Thank you, Joel.
Let's go back to Thursday's subsection meet, and I think that the strength of you guys' team this year is definitely in the distance core, and that strength really showed on Thursday. Solid performances in both of the distance relays. You know, obviously you won the 3,200, Isaac winning the 800, and Nick running really well in the 1,600. And I imagine that a lot of that is a carryover from the fall.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Tell me a little bit about just the dynamic of some of those relays. You know, the distance, the 4x8, it's you and Isaac and Nick who all ran on the state cross-country team this last year.
Yep.
And that fourth spot has really kind of been up in the air between Cameron and Evan. You know, Cameron obviously ran in the state cross-country meet. Evan did not run cross-country, but he's put together a couple of pretty solid 800s as well.
Oh, yeah. Evan is a really good 800 runner, and right now he is on our 4x8 for sections. But our 4x8 team, we've just been running together, working hard together, and I think it's that teamwork dynamic that really pulls together well.
And that 4x8, that field is pretty stacked because you've got a pretty solid team in Pipestone in there, and you know, I think that the times at the subsection level were pretty similar, but you guys know what Pipestone's capable of after they put up an 8:14 at the conference meet. Hopefully you guys can catch them.
Yeah, we're really striving for that first place spot at sections. We're training really hard and working and getting those handoffs down and just the exercises that are needed to hopefully beat Pipestone.
But then you had the 3,200, and I know that all season long, getting below the 10-minute mark has been a goal,
Yes,
and it's been an elusive goal. And finally on Thursday, you ran a 9:53. You know, you broke the 10-minute mark with some time to spare, and on top of that, you won the race basically by a whole 30 seconds or more. Tell me how difficult it is knowing that, you know, as the laps are going on, you're putting more and more distance between yourself and the competition, and you realize that it's basically you against the clock.
It's a huge mental battle because I like to chase people when I run. I feel like that's probably really like one of my biggest strong suits is to be a chaser when I run, but the mental battle is just huge. It helps when people are also like cheering you on because it gives like a good mental boost. Especially, it helps when Coach Pletcher is also on telling me my times and like what my splits are. So it kind of like also like gives me like information. So then I know how to map out my run for the next laps.
And going into the section meet, you'll be the number 1 seed. There aren't a whole lot of times, other times from the other subsections that are even in the 10-minute range. So it might be you against the clock again on Thursday. And I imagine that with that in mind, the next goal is 9:46, which is the school record in the 3,200.
Oh, yes. I've been wanting... Coach and I have been practicing and just getting all those workouts in so I can get that school record because that was like one of the biggest things I wanted starting this year and last year too. was just to break 9, and so I can get to that, actually beat 9:46.
And really, you look at it compared to your subsection run, and it is basically a matter of taking off 1 second per lap. What does it take to take 1 second per lap off your time?
1 second may not seem like a lot of time, but for a distance run, 1 second is a lot, because there's also like the whole mental battle where you have to stay one step ahead of yourself. You have to keep yourself motivated, and you also have to if you get a pain in your leg or something, you just have to shake that off.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically mind over body and mind over matter, and just keep striving forward and just take it 1 step at a time.
I imagine that as a 2-miler, in a lot of ways, your leg that you run in the 4x8 is kind of your warm-up lap.
Yeah, I really like the 4x8 because it also gives me an idea how the weather's going to be, where the wind's going to be at, and it just helps me kind of prepare for my upcoming races. Even I'll still do my best for the 4x8, of course, but it also gives me some little information on how the rest of the meet could be, and what the other teams are like, and what the fellow competitors are feeling too.
And the other aspect of that is you went to state last year. State didn't turn out real great for you.
Oh no, it did not.
And I imagine that the knowledge that you gained at the state meet is something that you've really been able to translate into the last couple of meets this season, especially on Thursday, because up at the state meet, you've got to be below 10 minutes if you want to be in the hunt. And that's pretty valuable, experience, knowing that you can break that 10-minute mark as you try and get to the state meet.
Yeah, my biggest problem was at the state meet was I got overexcited. And also the weather didn't help too. I mean, it was rainy, and then it was really hazy and really thick to breathe too. And just all the excitement and just the adrenaline pumping kind of wore me out before my race. And then with not having a whole lot of knowledge of how the state meet worked for my race, I warmed up a little too early, and so then I kind of exerted myself too soon. When I went to go jog around to stay loose, I also used too much energy for that because I was in the zone, but I think I was too hyped too before my race, and I just wasn't calmed and relaxed, and my second wind didn't really kick in either. But now I know I just gotta stay calm, stay relaxed, and just run it like any other meet. During fall cross country sections, when they were listing down the teams and they came to the top 3, and I just remember just praying to God that let it be Wyndham, let it be Wyndham. And then when they got to the second place and they haven't announced me, I started to cry a bit just because and how of a great feeling that was, because it just kind of was with me that, wow, we made it as a team for the first time in who knows how long. And it was just a great feeling that all that work paid off. Feel Invincible by Skillet. Well, first of all, Isaac Tade in the 800. We are both just going at it, but he is a better runner for the 4x8, but he always helps push me so I can go faster for that 4x8, and he'll always be my #1 competitor in that. Although he is a great teammate to have, but he's also a really good competitor. Hard-headed, a bit brash, but also exciting. For meets, I'm just really excited to do them, but also really determined. Reading, sometimes drawing, but I don't draw a whole lot now. Playing video games, just kind of relaxing, and just hanging out with some of my friends.
And of course,
You've got the diploma, and the National Guard is waiting for you. When do you head down there?
I head down June 12th, which, if you don't know, the state track meets is June 9th and 10th, and I get 1 day break, and then I'm off to basic.
All right. Well, best of luck this coming week at sections. Best of luck at basic training, and congratulations, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Brought to you this week by Fortune Transportation of Windham. Fortune Transportation would like to congratulate John Irwin on being this week's Athlete of the Week. Fortune Transportation strives for excellence, and John's work ethic and his willingness to do what it takes to get the job done mirrors his dedication on the field. We are happy to have him as one of our employees and want to recognize his athletic success.